Mervin, good morning, everyone. Thank you for that brief introduction of the trainings, Mervin. I'll just quickly introduce myself. You all know my name, Mary Angela. I'm the microfinance officer of Westpac in Fiji, and part of my role is I conduct financial literacy sessions on both the financial first step and the business basic, which we will cover in the 3 days that we're looking at there. So part of my role as well is I run the microfinance markets for Westpac, which is currently hosted in Suva. We haven't had a market since last year because of COVID, but it does not mean that we will not have it in the future. We just have to wait it out until it's safe. That's what I do in my role. Otherwise, general banking services is also provided from our end. We also look after a product called in-store banking in our department. And that is a product that accommodates our rural customers, where we provide the machine, the in-store machine. We identify a shop in the rural areas and we sit our machine there, and that machine acts as a bank. So customers can go to the shop and they can make a deposit, withdraw, even check their mini statement, balance, inquiry, make bill payments. All those can be facilitated by that machine. So the machine is the size of the EFTPOS machines, the one that you see in the supermarkets and the shops here in the city. But it has a different function, an extra function on it called in-store that accommodates the banking for our rural customers. So that's what we have in our department, and we place it in a shop because that's where money is being transacted, and the shop owner would be able to provide when it's a payout or withdrawal, they do have the means to actually pay out the cash to the customer. So those are the other service that we provide as a bank, and it's being looked after from our department in microfinance and everywhere banking team. So that's briefly on what I do. I have been conducting this training for over 9 years. It's almost 10 years, and it has been a really great journey. But I've been a bank officer for 15 years, and I hope that my experience as a bank as well would be able to answer some of your questions. Otherwise, in this training, we don't promote any of our products. It's basically on financial literacy and on information that we can share to help you make sound decision with your finance. Yes, so that's a brief on what I do. So I would like to get to know our participants. I can see that everyone has their camera off. Is there a possibility that we could maybe turn on your camera so I can see the participants? Maybe put a face to the name, so I can actually see that you're there. Thank you. So we'll do a round of introduction. Maybe I call out your names and you can, just tell me what are the few things that I probably encourage you to introduce about yourself is, well, your name, what you're currently doing, and maybe what do you expect out of this training? What are your expectations? Thank you. We'll start with Felicione. Felicione, I think you need to unmute.
I'm the lucky first one to introduce myself. My name is Felicione. I'm one of those that have been affected by the pandemic, but that didn't deter me from moving on with things to do. So I've started my business, and I've started a small business, and what I'm expecting from this class is like what she said, to make sound decisions with my finances and to have a more broader spectrum of how to earn and how to make profit with this small business, especially during these hard times we're in. Thank you.
Naka Felicione. We hear from Sue. Thank you, Sue. So you need to unmute. No, Sue, we can't hear you. Can you hear Sue? Okay, Broderick will help you with that. Thank you, Broderick.
So would you want to unmute and try again? Oh. No, so sorry. I think it's your network. What we'll do, if you can try and maybe perhaps what we'll do, I'll just off your video for a moment. Can you hear us from there? No? What can be done, Mary Angela, if Sue could just type her introductions given her network activity and you can just continue with the next person. Eh? Thank you.
Yes, yes, I thought that as well. It'd be best if she can type in her introduction. Okay, so we'll move on to Rudolph. Rudolph, thank you.
Good morning. My name is Rudolph. I'm from Rotuma. I'm staying in Nandi. Like what Feliciane has also mentioned, I am one of them who was affected by COVID-19. And recently, I've just started a small business, not really official, but just to start from something small. And I'm glad to be in this training today to broaden my knowledge on financial literacy and business basics and how to start off your small business to make it successful. Naka.
Naka, Rudolph. We'll move on to Tom.
Bula Vinaka, Bula everyone. Yeah, my name is, my full name is Thomas Murthy. I am 39 years of age. I hail from the beautiful island of Kite, Toya, in the Love Group, and I share maternal links to Northern Rewa. I like the other two before me. I was also affected, and I'm currently assisting a friend run a business. What else? I have no children, but I've got 4 cats. So yeah, I love cats. And yeah, I look forward to this 3 days of training and gaining more knowledge on financial literacy and the business basics. Yeah, Vinaka, Miss Mary Angela, nice to meet you and nice to meet everyone.
Naka, Tom, thank you for that introduction. We will now move on to Kevin, please.
Hello, Vinaka. Name is Kevin Iro, also from Rotuma. I'm I'm here down at Wanandoi. I just joined this training in terms of just started investing into farming. So would like to gain as much knowledge as I can in terms of the literacy and financial training that will be provided in these next 3 days, and hope that it can also boost and help me in terms of managing the business. Thank you.
Naka, Kevin, we'll hear from Daisy.
Hello. Hello everyone, I'm Daisy. I'm from Levuka, Walau. I've started this new business and I just want to broaden my knowledge in how to keep the business going long term. And yes, I'm happy to be here today, Vinaka.
Naka, Daisy, can we please hear from Elisa Pevi? I think Elizabeth, you're probably trying to. Okay, so we'll come back to Elizabeth. If you're unable to speak, where we can, if you're trying to introduce yourself and we can't hear you, maybe you can type it out in the chat. Yeah? So we had Sue introduce herself, and she says she is from Laos but living in Yasawa. Penaka Sue. So we'll come back to Elizabeth. So for now, maybe we hear from Akosita.
Hi, morning all. Sorry, my name is Akosita, currently from Kandavu. I work with Digicel as a NOC engineer. Just wanted to start these courses because I was so interested in it. We started a small business with my kids, so I think I would wanted to learn more about the financial literacy training about this. Yeah, that's about it.
Naka Akosita. Sherry, can we please hear from Sherry?
And good morning, everybody. My name is Sherry Pou. I'm from Rotuma. I currently live and work in Nandi. I know what I want to achieve, and I hope with this financial training, this will catapult me into a better, more stable financial future. Thank you.
Naka. Tres Marie Misau.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? Is this Mary Angela? Good morning. I'm having some connectivity issues. I'm all the way out here in Suva. We live out at Namandi Heights. I think it's best that I type out my introduction, if that's all right, Mary. And
Yes, we can hear you fine, Tres.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's nice. I was listening to Broderick's introduction, and I would have expected him to call me stranger to this course, obviously, because I have not been participating with Ignite for Change for some time, but I am one of the advisors for the organizations. I hope Broderick has not booted me out yet. But wonderful to be here. I'm going through your attachments, what you call it now, the information sheet, and basically I'll be very interested. I know you did mention that you are not there to promote some of your Westpac products. But obviously, I am very interested in that along the way. I will pick up one or two information that I think is pertinent to my situation right now. I have not been formally employed for the last 5 years. And the situation for me personally has been exacerbated by the COVID-19 impact. So as you conduct your presentation, I'll be asking one or two questions and see if I can, at the end of this, I can become a millionaire. Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Thank you, Tres. I think that's the goal for everybody. We all want to be millionaires. Eh?
Thanks.
Okay, Vinaka, we'll hear from Temo.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Temo, and I'm originally from Onilao, with maternity from Matukulao. Right now, I'm a student at the University of the South Pacific. I've just started my small business, and well, my friend invited me to be part of this workshop, and I'm looking forward to broaden my knowledge on financial planning, and I look forward to work with you. Oh, thank you.
Naka Temo, it's lovely to see you with the camera on. Everyone's mentioned where they're from, and you're probably wondering what species am I? I'm originally from Lakemba. This is just for Tom's information. My great grandmother is from Tumbo, but that's from his maternal side, and my adopted grandfather is from Vonambalavu, Tom. But for Temo, Penakavale, you're from Onilao, and where I'm from in Lakemba, in Levuka, you and I are very much good friends. Yes, my mom is Samoan. That's hence why I look a bit Rotumanish, and love it when the Rotumans come to the bank and they like to say Forexa to me, and I say it right back. But when they continue and I'm a bit lost, and then I step back and tell them that I'm, unfortunately, I don't understand what they're saying. So it's really nice to see the mixture of people in the group, and it's interesting to, to have to listen to your stories if you wish to share. This platform is safe platform. You can, feel free to share some of your good stories, even some stories you might feel they are bad stories. They are not, because it will help us learn along the way. Yeah. So what we're going to touch on today is financial first step, and this is targeting your personal income. The business training will be tomorrow and the day after. So financial first step introduces you to your personal finance, and some of the key learnings is on planning and setting goals. And I'm going to go in depth into that. And most of the topics that I'll cover, they are really not new to you. However, I will give it to you from a financial perspective, how you can, like I said earlier, to make informed decisions or sound decisions with your personal finance. So that's what I will cover. And then now I will now introduce you to our learnings. So I have a PowerPoint prepared. Can you all see that? Okay, good. So this is our training. Yeah, this is what our training is on. Financial literacy. So on financial first step, the objective for us today is for us to understand, by the end of the learning, I hope that you will understand the steps on managing your money and how to make it happen. Second, how to make good money decisions. How is our decision making with our finance right now? How you can make good money decisions. And at the end of the learning, I hope that you will feel confident to save. We all understand some types of saving, some ways of saving, but you have to feel confident in your saving. So it's not just the knowledge, but the actual feeling where you will say, yeah, this is not hard. It's easy. But I want you to be assured, the learning today, it's not like you have to change overnight. It has to be practiced. You have to practice it for you to actually understand how best it works for you, and you'll be able to also learn along the way. Different things you can chop and change. But the whole idea is for you to improve. And for you to feel empowered on, handling your finances instead of certain things over controlling how you handle your finances. And so we're going to touch on some very sensitive topics, but with me, it's all about the truth. When I highlight the truth with us, you will understand where I'm coming from. But just before we do that, I would like to apologize in advance if anything feels offensive. Please feel free to let me know. But otherwise, I prefer to relate it closely to what our lifestyle is, so that you can understand how it impacts your decision making. So that's our objective for today. We'll go straight into it. So if you look at the PowerPoint, our first, okay, Trust Marie. So what I do is I usually look at the chat as well. When you post stuff up, I will be reading it from there. If you want to write something, if you want to say something, please feel free to use the emojis with your hands up, and don't hesitate to stop me in between if you want to ask questions. Okay, so to begin with, our learning today begins with planning. Okay, so when it comes to your personal finance, how we conduct ourselves daily, everything starts with a plan. Okay, and why planning? Because it's the first step for you to learn how to manage your money. It clearly says there, it's the first step to great money management. Simple. If you want to understand it more simply, this is the first step for you to understand how to manage your money. What it does, it prepares you for the future. Okay, it really does prepare you for the future. When you set a plan, it helps you to understand what you want to achieve for yourself. So you have the big plan. In order for you to achieve your plan, you have to set them into goals. And when you have goals, it's actually what you want to achieve for yourself. And our goals are usually closest to our heart. Okay, it's something that you truly want for yourself. Now, we have goals, we have things we want to achieve for ourselves. Have we understood that every single thing that we want to achieve for ourselves, like a goal, it's called a goal, that every dream that we have for ourselves, or if we set our dream that it's for our family, for those of us that have children, you must understand that you have to also have a financial goal. Okay, so that's the question I'm posing there. Do you have a financial goal? Despite the fact that the hardships are being, have existed since last year, especially for my friends in the West who work in the tourism industry, the aviation industry, who have been greatly impacted. Do we have a financial goal? That question, I would like to pose it to us. Anybody would like to share if they have a financial goal? Okay, maybe not now, later if you do think it up, share it with us. Feel free to speak openly. Okay, so going, yes, anyone there?
Hi, Mary Angela. I would say my financial goal is early retirement. I do not want to be working until I reach my grave. So,
okay, thank you, Cherie. Thank you for sharing. Yes, and that's a very good financial goal. Early retirement. Why not? Because you can, fulfill other goals. Okay. So goals are three types, okay? We understand short, medium, and long term. This information, the primary school gang, the children, and the high school children, they know. They learn this in school. So you and I, we have learned it sometime along the way. So now you're looking at it again. What we are trying to tell you here is your goal is actually what's going to achieve the plan. Okay, you want to achieve a big plan, you have to ask yourself, by when do I want to achieve all this plan? They come in the form of goal. Short term, medium term, and long term. Short term, we know it's the now. Medium term is 3 to 5 years from now. And anything past 7 years, that becomes your long term. So truly, as you sit today and as you listen into this training, ponder on it. Where do I see myself in 3 years' time? Where do I see myself financially? Do I see myself financially independent? Do I see myself achieving my goals? Those are questions we have to ask. The reason why we've really come out strong about setting your goals, unfortunately, it's a normal human behavior. We live day to day. And as we take it, as we continue to do that, if we live day to day, then whatever finance we have now, if we don't plan it, that's it. It'll just meet only what we need now. It will not help us to achieve the bigger things we have set for ourselves. Yeah. So that's why we need to have goals, so you understand how the short-term goal now will help you achieve the medium-term goal, how the medium-term goal will help you achieve the long-term goal. They actually help to achieve the next goal. Okay. So some examples of goals that I have put up for us is here. Short-term, set up a regular saving, example 5%. For the unplanned, for the emergencies or obligations, onga, just most recently, we've noticed the amount of onga we've had to have in this lockdown, and most of it, unfortunately, were funerals. And that's the reality of life. We have to be prepared for the unplanned. And then you have planned. You can have a plan short term. Maybe you want to buy yourself a gift. Christmas is just 2 months away. If you think about it, if you have some plan for yourself during Christmas, you still have time. You still have time that you can achieve what you want. It's a matter of you understanding that you must put it as a plan. And then you look at your finance now and you see what you can do with what you have now that can achieve that plan. That's how it works. So you set a plan in the future and then you work it back. Say 2 months from Christmas, I wish to have $500 by Christmas so I can really enjoy myself. So you work it back. In the 4 weeks that's left, the 8 weeks that's left, 500 divided by 8 in a week, this is how much I should be putting aside so that I can achieve my $500. You work it back. That's how you have financial goals. And you look at your finance now and you see how you can fit it in. Those are planned. Now the unplanned is in the short term, emergencies. Should anything happen, okay? Should you get sick, you don't want to go and wait in the hospital, you want to go to the doctor as quickly as possible, you can achieve that if you have money to go and see the private doctor. You can achieve that by buying your medication where you don't have to worry about asking someone for the cost of the medicine. Those are some things that you always have to ensure that you put aside your savings for. And then we have medium term. Medium term, like most of you have mentioned, what I was getting out of the expectation was, I have a small business, I've started a business, I have plans with my children, I want to run my business, but I want to learn how I can do this with my money. That was what I was getting from most of you, okay? So the medium term goals is, maybe you want to see this little project in 5 years' time. Where do you see it? Do you see it still the same size when you started it? Or do you forecast that you want to see it grow into something bigger? Because as you do that, when you set your sight ahead, you understand, hey, this is what I want for myself, I can do it. And that's how you can set it as a goal. It becomes your plan, okay? Then you have long term. Long term can be your retirement, can be other future obligations. Some of us who have children, we will prepare for our children to go to good schools, higher education. Those things, they cost. So we must always prepare for it. Maybe some of you are forecasting that you want to see your business grow and be in line with some bigger businesses that we have today. So those are some ways that you need to understand why it's important that you have goals. Some of us will want to buy a house or a property. You know, those are investments that we would like to prepare ourselves for in the future. But all of us, we must always plan for our retirement. That's for sure. We must plan for our retirement. If we are struggling right now financially, you know, with the cost of living, how will we cope in the future if the price of everything keeps growing? So the best way to put your mind at ease, prepare for your retirement. Because some of us will not want to obligate our children. We will want to be able to afford our own bills and daily living. And that's how you set goals. And whatever you set for yourself, you must have a financial goal with it. So by retirement, I want to see that I have this much. My business in the medium term, I want to have it, I should have this much to be able to grow to that level, okay? That's why you have goals, because it helps you to achieve your plan. One moment, sorry. So as you're setting your goals, these are the questions you have to ask yourself. What have I planned for my future? Some of us have any plan for the future or no? Okay. The next question is, where do you see yourself come that time? Do you see yourself achieving your goal? And do you see yourself being successful? Okay, how successful do you want to become? If we continue to just rely on meeting our daily needs today, and we don't take our other future goals seriously, after 5 years, after 10 years, you'll be asking yourself that question: why is it that I haven't achieved that goal to buy my house? Why is it that I keep wanting this business, but then I don't actually achieve it? because you didn't understand that it can be a goal. You did not take your medium and long-term goals seriously, okay? When you do that, when you have a goal set and you're serious about it, you will look for ways on how you can start building up your savings for it, okay? And it can happen. It can happen, but it has to come with the fact that you have to set it as a goal, okay? So to achieve all of that, you need to look at your finance, okay? So your budget, how many of us budget? How many of us, really do try to budget our money, let's just say? How many of us have tried budgeting? Okay, okay, good. No harm in that, thank you. I saw Philip put his hand up, and Akusita, Vinaka. Okay, and Tom, thank you, Tom. Okay, good. And Sue, Vinaka. All right, so budgeting is, you know what money you get and where it is going, Simple. Thank you, Kevin. Kevin put his hand up as well. We all tried it. As a financial literacy trainer, budgeting, you have to try it. If what doesn't work now, it doesn't mean you stop. As a financial literacy trainer, I have to practice what I preach. So I'm always trying to see how a budget can fit for me and all of that, but it has to happen, okay? So money is, when you understand the word budget, you know what money you're getting and where it is going. But for you to understand where it goes, you need to first have a spending diary. I'm going to introduce you now to a spending diary. How many of you have this little notebook? How many of you have a little notebook? I have a little notebook. That's how you can start a spending diary. Just get yourself a little notebook, and what you do, you take this little notebook and you write every spending that you incur. Every time you spend money, you write it. So the best thing you can do is when you go and do your shopping or you go and buy something, keep the receipt. Don't throw the receipt away. Keep the receipt and then you note it down, how much you spend. Try it daily. Try this daily. The spending diary, you can do it daily. Write down every day what you spend money on, okay? If you went and top up your bus card, write it down. How much was the bus card topped up for? If you give money to someone, write it down, Right at the end of the week, you calculate how much money you've used. That's going to tell you the story of your spending. When you have a notebook, it'll give you the story of your spending. And that's how you can track what you're spending your money on. Is it being used on the things you really budgeted for? Or there was some extra spending there? That book will tell you, okay? So you try that. That's called a spending diary. Now I'd like to, sorry, before this, hold on. I'd like to introduce you to a let me just share another. I have to share the budget planner to all of you. Here you go. All right. Now this is the type of budget, a planner. I'm going to show you a budget planner. I'm going to go through this with you thoroughly. If you have a type of budget that you're using, continue with it if you are comfortable with that. But this is a budget planner that we have created, and we show it to all our participants who are eager to learn about how to actually build a budget, okay? So I'm going to show you how to build a budget. Most of you probably know, but this is a type of budget that we hope that's going to help you achieve your goal, okay? So if you look at this budget planner, it has steps, You have step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6, step 7. I'm going to go through it with you slowly, okay? So ask a question if you want, can ask. But step 1, I'm going to introduce you to step 1. This is your income. It can be daily, it can be weekly, it can be fortnightly, or it can be monthly. Okay, this is your income. You will note down your income. Maybe you have two income. You have your job and you have a business. You can note it down however you feel is appropriate for you. Okay, then you have step 2. Step 2, cash out, is savings. Now, from step 2, you start to make your payments. You start using your money. And what we have done is we have introduced you to make the first payment as your saving. Normally, what we would do is, as soon as we get our money, we want to pay the bills, we want to buy the food, maybe we want to go and buy lunch and enjoy. But what we are encouraging you here is the first pay that you are supposed to, the first payment should be your savings. Okay? And that is called paying yourself. Learning to pay yourself. Okay? So how can you pay yourself? That's when you have a goal. Okay? It makes sense. When you put money aside for savings, it's for a purpose. Okay, if you imagine having a bank account and you're telling yourself, I just want to save, but you don't actually know what you're saving for, will that saving last? Something comes up that money wasn't planned for, you will touch it. That's what's going to happen. But if you have planned your saving and you say, okay, this money is for this, anything that comes up, you will try and fit it into the finance that you have currently. You will not touch the money that you have put aside for your goal. Okay, and that's why step 2 is there. You are going to put savings aside, and it doesn't have to be one only. You can have savings for several things. Maybe you have savings for your family's Christmas money. You can have savings for your short-term goal, your medium-term goal. You can have savings put aside for the children to go back to school next year. It's entirely up to you, but the point is, before you pay for anything else, learn to pay you first. Learn to always put savings aside before you pay anything else. Whatever's left, and then it'll cover everything else. But money should be put aside in the first instant when you get paid, and that should be savings. We usually encourage you, put 5 to 10% of your pay aside every payday. Put it aside first. And when you put it aside, you forget about it. You shouldn't be looking in again or trying to dip into your savings. You will not save if you do that. Okay? So once you've achieved step 2, then you go to step 3. And step 3 is called repayments. Repayments is a commitment. Some of us have high purchase accounts. Some of us might have a bank loan. And that is your repayment. You have committed yourself to a financial obligation as such. That should be the second payment. Okay, and you break it down. If you pay monthly, you can break it down to weekly so that it's lighter for you, or you can start collecting the money in bits. Some people, they've come up with methods where they have envelopes. They put the bill aside every week in the envelope. Some have used bottles, some have used bank accounts. You use whatever method works for you. The type that when you put it there, it's not going to be touched again, or whatever comes, hail, rain, or storm, you will not touch that because that's got its purpose. Okay, so repayments. You pay for your repayments. And then step 4, we have cash out living expenses. Living expenses is the need. Now the need. What it says there, it has groceries, it has housing, it has utility bills. Utility bills like those that still have the landline phone, they pay for landline, they pay for electricity, pay for water. Those are your living expenses. Bus fare to go to work, bus fare for the children. Okay, we are very fortunate right now, the children are not going to school. But have we saved that money that we were usually paying every week for their bus fare? What have we been doing with it? Have we just been spending? That was an ideal opportunity for everybody to put that money aside, because if the children were going to school, you will have to use it for bus fare. But since they're not going, that was the biggest opportunity for us to start putting it aside. Okay, so this is where it's going to start triggering ideas with each of us. Okay, what am I, where did that money go? Come right back to your spending diary. When you write it down, then you will see, oh, this is where I've been spending money. Yeah. Okay, so step 4, that's your needs, your living expenses. It's your needs. Eh? Now we have step 5. Step 5 is other expenses, but it's called the lifestyle. It's the lifestyle. Yeah, lifestyle is our wants. So those are, we've added that because the reality, we also spend on our wants. For the gents, maybe you need your monthly grooming, go for haircut, those kind of things you need to pay for. The women, we have, we have the little things like the ones that we need to cater for. If you look at it, our social gatherings, sometimes we go for social gatherings with families or friends, or even our church community. So those are, that's where you can cater it for. If you have some space, then you can enjoy it, okay? But if you look at it, it's step 5. What it's saying there is only if you have some space, and if it's you want to enjoy it, then you can use it, okay? You can plan for it. We have birthdays coming up that we might want to go to, or one wedding, and then it can be accommodated there. But you do not touch your step 2, your savings, just because you're tight with your finance. Eh? So what happens is step 1, the total of step 1 should minus the total of step 2 to step 5. And then if your total for step 2 to step 5, all your payments, all your payments is more than your income, what is that telling you? Anybody?
You are living outside of your means.
You're living outside of your means.
Deficit.
Where do you think you can start making some changes?
Change your lifestyle.
And that, which step is that? Which step is your lifestyle?
Step 5.
Step 5. So you start from step 5, okay? You don't go and touch step 2 because you want to keep step 5, because you want to enjoy step 5, and then you decide, okay, I'll dip into my saving and then I'll pay for it later. That later is never going to come back to us, okay? The human behavior is we do that. I can touch it now and then later. Then no. Because you're going to keep that step 2 for your goal. And that's what happens 5 years later. We're still asking ourselves, man, I wanted to buy a house. Why is it I'm not achieving it? Man, I wanted to buy my, have my business. I wanted to take that holiday and go and watch Hong Kong 7, but that dream is just not coming true. See, those kind of things are happening because we continue to dip into step 2 so we can enjoy the step 5 now. We want to enjoy the step, like our lifestyle. Okay, good. So I'm going to revert back to our PowerPoint. Okay. Here we go. So what we've done is we've actually gone through a budget on how you can create a budget for yourself. You will note down your income, and then you will note down your different payments. The first one you should pay is what's the first thing we should pay? Anybody?
Savings.
Our savings. After your savings, then you pay for the repayments, which is your commitment. If you don't have a repayment, good on you. You can go straight to your living expenses, which is your daily living. Okay, after your living expenses, then you have your lifestyle. If you have some space that you can enjoy some little things. But otherwise, if you can live without it, it's a want, you can live without it. Keep that money, because something could come up during the week that you may really need that money for, and you don't have to ask anybody for that cost. Okay, you can afford it yourself. So now I'd like us to have a look at spending. Spending is, when we spend our money, it's only on needs. for the survival and the wants. You know, the wants, our wants is just a luxury. It's a luxury, wants. You know, we can enjoy it, but we can live without it. Eh? Okay. Sorry. So our wants is our lifestyle. What kind of lifestyle do we have right now? Can we afford our lifestyle? See, the truth with wants, yeah, our lifestyle, if we want to keep a certain type of lifestyle, you have to give up your saving. You can't have both of it. You can't be expecting to save and keep up with your lifestyle. The reason, to have a particular type of lifestyle, you have to pay for it. Eh? But if you were to change that lifestyle, then you'll only be able to achieve your saving. Okay, so that's food for thought for us. Eh? Okay. So emotions and money. I want to talk to us about emotions and money. Do you know that emotions, they actually influence your finance?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, what are emotions? Can some of you tell me what are emotions? What is your understanding of this word, emotions?
Impulse.
Sorry, can you repeat that again, Tom?
Impulse. Acting on impulse.
Impulse, okay. So emotions, you know, if I have to explain to us in one word, it's called feelings, eh? What you feel. So emotions can be happy, can be sad, what else?
Hungry.
Can be hungry. Can be excitement, can be anger, eh?
Yeah.
Do you know that all those feelings can influence your money? Demo? Do you know that all those feelings can influence how you make decisions on your money?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. All of you saying yes, so you have experienced this, yeah? Okay.
Getting angry and going to buy a
Especially feeling hungry.
When you're hungry, when you're angry and you want to go and buy your beer, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Two kinds of beer feeling, man.
Then you
Not
want to be
one,
the style
two,
now.
interesting too, eh?
Then
See?
you have to play drama.
Okay, good. See, so you understand. But what I'm highlighting here is emotions and money, they influence each other. And this is what's going to happen if you allow it. They will lead you to poor or bad financial decisions. Yeah? Poor, bad financial decisions. When you have a plan, you have set your goal, you have a plan. As soon as your emotion come in, that plan, you've packed it. Yeah? It just takes away the plan. Whatever you have planned to goal in 5 years' time, do you think it's going to happen? If you're going to continue to allow your emotions to rule your money decision? Money? Okay. It also can make you feel powerless. Emotions can make you feel powerless to say no. Eh? Like you can't say no.
Yeah. Are you feeling, I think in our society, especially us in the islands, we tend to feel obligated when, you know, something comes up, even though that your number 2 is there, we tend to reach out to the number 2 to go and buy one cow because, you know, like bole, like you bole to do this and bole to do that, but then you dip into your finances and then you start again from square one. It's so true.
Nakafili, anybody else wants to share their you know, experience with emotions and money? No? Okay. So with us, you know, when you think about it, what Philly mentioned, it's the reality. If you recall, when I said how you set your goals, I mentioned that your short-term goal should include the planned and the unplanned. When we know that our culture is part of our life, our daily living, for us in the islands, our culture is very dear to the heart. We have family obligations, we have our church obligations, and we have cultural obligations that we would like to be a part of all the time. That is some of the things we need to always keep in our savings, as well as considered as planned or unplanned. Like example, funerals. Those are things we do not expect. We can say that we don't know when it's going to happen. We can plan for it as much as we want, but we don't know when it's going to happen. But it's comforting to know that when it does happen, that you are prepared for it. And the best way for you to do that is, you can put savings aside for that, just to meet that moment. It might not be funerals, it might be other emergencies, okay? Just to help you to be able to meet that unexpected event without having to feel stressed out of how am I going to afford it. So that's why we have the planned and the unplanned. And rightfully said by Philly, they'll tell us to go and we feel obligated, we want to buy like a whole mangiti for the occasion, okay? Or we might be told, you have to bring this, you have to be the one to provide this. Those are some things that we are, even before we offer, it's been obligated to us. So, what is the best way that you can cope with it if you know that it wasn't part of your plan? How do you think you can approach the matter without, feeling like you're going to offend someone? Can we openly discuss?
I think one of the main things that we have to say during that time is being honest. I believe one thing that you said during the beginning of our session was that to be being honest. The honesty is something that we have to place in us as a virtue. If we don't have it, we just say that we don't have it. Then the other point would be that you've set aside, like you said, you set aside the money for obligations. Good budgeting. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Anybody
It's
else
like,
wants to add on to that? Thank you, Tom.
Point number 3 on the emotions, like what Felicione just shared. It says feeling powerless, can't say no. So we just have to be powerful and say no.
Naka, Tom, can we hear from the other participants? How have you dealt with situations like that when you know it's not within your financial capacity? Are you able to deal with it? If you can't, please share. Tell us how, I couldn't deal with it. It was hard. Feel free to tell us. And tell us why, maybe you feel shy, or maybe you mandua, or, those are some things that we can address. Because right now we are going to help each other. Akosita, did you want to say something? Temo, you look like you want to say something.
Just to add on what Philly has said, yeah, it's all about being honest. And for us Fijians, it's something with us that when you're told something to give, like right away you get to give it, and you get to forget whatever you have saved, especially in your family when they need something. For me, it's all about making a wise decision in taking that step. If you're strong enough to make that wise decision, then you can be able to save. But then if you're a free giver, then you're gonna give it away to your family. Thank you.
Vinakatemo, like I said, it's easy for us to discuss here. Like some of us, we can easy for us to say it, but when the reality hits, we feel like we don't have that strength. But see, this is the truth. It's about practice. Like today we have in this session, it's for 2 hours. We don't know if we'll meet again after today's session. I know we have the business training tomorrow and the other day, but I'm talking about financial literacy. And I hope that in the future, we're going to have another session. But the truth is this, all the information that we are sharing today, it has to take practice. You actually have to understand if it really works when you actually go back after today and you apply it. Like I said earlier, it will help you only if you try it. Yes, it's not a overnight learning. It's a work in progress. You actually will start today, and then as you continue, it will grow on you, and you will start to understand how it truly works. Okay. So good. We were talking about emotions and money, and how sometimes emotions have really impacted our decision. So it can lead us to make bad financial decision. It takes away the plan. You have all shared, like when we have obligations, we have money that we put aside, and then something comes up, and then we have to give it. We are told that we have to provide this. We feel bad, like those kind of things you've shared. And that's exactly what emotions does to money. When they influence each other, it actually makes you feel powerless, that you can't say no. However, I've come up with some solution for us. Also, Sue is sharing, I'm always a yes woman, so it's always hard for me to say no. So I always end up doing credit. Naka Sue, today you will understand what has been causing you to do credit, Sue? And I've come up with some solution for us today. These are some solutions to how you can prevent emotions from influencing your money. First of all, set a limit. Always set a limit to your finance, and that's where your budget comes in, your budgeting, okay? First step, set a budget. That's where you limit your finance. Even when you go to town, you just take a certain amount. Don't take your bank card, okay? That's where it takes us to the second one. The second one says limit access to funds. Don't keep your saving at home. Go and put it in a bank account, or invest it in buying units, or go and put it in your FNPF so that it's away from you, okay? You can do voluntary deposit into your FNPF for your retirement fund. Those are some things that you can look at, okay? Don't keep it with you all the time, or when you go to town, limit access to funds. Don't take your bank card, just take enough money, because once you've exhausted that amount, you can't spend more than that when you don't have your card with you. Like how we do with children. We give them $5 if they're gonna go somewhere. We know that they can't spend more than that because they're only limited to $5. That's it. So if we apply the method to our children, why are we not applying it to ourselves? Exactly. So my third point on how you combat emotions and money influencing each other is have a cooling off period. A cooling off period is when you dedicate a certain time when you just avoid all these eating out, buying recharge, social gathering, when you just avoid it. And what you do is you will learn to discipline yourself so that you just stick within your budget. It's not easy thing to do, but eventually, as you, like I said, as you practice it, you will start to get the meaning of it. Like it just comes easily to you. So I have cousins next door. I'm just going to share, and I have a certain time when I will hang out with them, and then when they don't see me, they start to question my family members. Hey, we don't see that one there. What's happening? And I simply tell them, I'll see you when I see you. It's called a cooling off period. Because at the end of the day, if they hold it against me that I don't meet them for a social gathering, they can't run away from the fact that we are still related. They can't avoid me at a family gathering. we will still be family. So my point about cooling off period is it's just for you to start the discipline, start putting the disciplines into action. You start being fixed on your budget, you spend within your limit, you avoid extra spending, you just apply all this little discipline that can help you along the way, to achieve your financial goals for your actual goal, for your planning, and to also help you to combat the emotions influencing the money. The fourth point here is get opinions from friends and family. When you talk to them and you find out that, no, you don't have to do all of that. You don't have to give all that amount of money. You don't have to go and buy the whole cow. And this is some ways that we can, when you talk to family and friends, they can actually guide you as well. They can tell you some things that you can stop. And another reason why I have step 4 there is when you all brought it up, being honest. Getting opinions from friends and family is when you honestly tell them, Isa, this time around, my family and I, we just can't afford it for now. Maybe the next time, then we'll be able to contribute. Or you can just say, I can only contribute this amount. I can't give the amount you expect me because it's within my limit. It's beyond what I can afford. The reason why you need to get opinions from friends and family so that you can learn to say the word no. When you learn to say the word no, it's going to help you stay within your limit, your financial capability. The last thing you want is, one, for you to overcommit yourself and then you can't provide for your daily living. 2, because you are tight financially, you're going to borrow money from the money lender. You already financially struggling, then you're going to bring in another obligation that's just going to, stress you out even more. And when you the financial stress, it's really, when you financially stress, it's really unhealthy. It can affect your health. Did you know that? We think that it's, yes. Tress Marie, you raised your hand. Tress Marie, you raised your hand. Yes, would you like to say something? I've unmuted you.
Okay. Yeah, you earlier on, you made a remark where you said, we could invest into shares in those types of institutions, including FNPF, etc. My question is, and it has been on my mind for quite some time, for those of us who have bought shares in the various institutions, and we are holding quite a substantial amount of money there, we have not had plans to, like withdraw or, to finance some of our previously held commitments. But the question is, what signs do we look for to indicate to us that these institutions are in trouble, therefore making our savings being placed at risk? Because when we lose our savings because these institutions have failed in their management of our finances, it will affect us emotionally. And for many of us, it'll be the outcomes are very drastic. You go for suicide, you go for all kinds of remedial actions because we've lost all those savings. So my question to you is, what do we look for in these institutions to indicate to us that our savings are now at risk, and whether or not we should pull out, for the sake of our savings? You want to hold on to them. Nobody in their right mind would want to lose all that money. So what do we look for?
What are your solutions for that? You're looking for signs, eh? Okay.
Yeah, so to prevent us from going into those catastrophe financially. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And rightfully, you should ask that question because it's your money, and you want to know that it's not going to be at risk. So I can't provide you the answer now, but I will go and ask some of our financial people in the bank and see what they have and what they can add on to that question that you have. And I hope I'll be able to give you an answer tomorrow. Is that all right?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
That's a very good question from you, Tress Marie. Vinaka. So we'll go back to our PowerPoint where it says, where I was talking about how you can have some control around the limit, or sorry, your emotions and money influencing each other. Okay, so the last point here is deferring your decision. When you know that it's not now, you can't afford it now, you can always tell yourself next time. Okay, when you have looked at your options and you realize that you can't get it now, in a way you can't afford it now, you don't have the financial means, you will best consider next time. That's called deferring your decision. Okay, all right, so those are some of the things I wanted to share, tips I wanted to share on how you can control this one here, emotions and money influencing each other. Have set some limit access to your funds, consider having a cooling off period. That's when you can really apply the disciplines around your finance in terms of your spending. Ask questions with your family and friends. Sometimes they can help to guide you. They can help you to say no to some obligations you overcommit yourself to. And when you know that you really just can't afford it, and your emotions is sort of like overcut, like it's just overtaking your decision on your money, just tell yourself, not now, next time. Defer your decision. Okay, so we're probably wondering, I work really hard, I'm earning, and what's the point of earning if I'm unable to spend, if I'm unable to enjoy myself? The point is for you to always have a plan. What I have on the PowerPoint says money management strategy. That long line simply means plan. Have some plan around your finance. Some points that we've made there is use the deferred spending method. Always consider what you're spending your money on as if it is a want or a need, wants versus need. Understand the value of your money and look out for the wants, the leak. The wants is a leak in your finance. As you continue to spend, enjoying yourself with, luxuries, we want to spend on our, on our daily expenses, such as some people, they drink, the smoking, those kind of things. The small spending, they add up. It's a leak in your finance. So I'll show you some of that now. Okay, so under deferred spending, you can come up with creative ways. Create ways to defer your spending. One, don't take an ATM card, tell yourself next budget. And then we have one there that's called use the new for old philosophy. What you can do is you can look at things of value that you have in your home that you don't use, that's collecting, that you can sell, that you can get money from that and use it for that, that thing that you really need. So you don't touch your budget. Some of us, the best way I can put it to us is declutter. Declutter some of your belongings at home where it's not being used all the time, but it's still in a good condition. And you know that if you sell it, you can get money for it. So that's a new for old philosophy, and that money that you get from selling the old item, then you can use that money to go and buy that new item that you've been wanting. Yes, and you don't want to touch your budget, the weekly budget, but you can use this method. Change the new for the old for the new. Okay, so the second one is determining your wants versus need. Every time you're going to spend your money, you ask yourself, is this a need or is it a want? Keep bringing up that question all the time. And this is how you will be able to know if it's going to be a need or a want. What are the consequences if you spend your money? Okay. What are the consequences if you spend your money? So if you purchase or you don't purchase that item, is there a consequence? And then you ask yourself, who else is going to be impacted by my purchase? If I go and spend this money, who else will be impacted? Maybe my children, they might need something. Maybe for some of us who look after our parents, you know, they might need to go to the hospital, our old parents. You know, this money could be used there. So you have to remember the people that are depending on you. That's what it means. And where else could this money be spent? Maybe if I don't spend it on my needs or my wants, I can spend it on the emergencies or the unexpected things that might just happen. Those are some things that you need to start asking yourself when you are weighing, is it a need or a want? So lots of time, we are only human. Lots of time we will be tempted. Oh, because it's on sale right now. Oh, the Diwali sale is happening right now. So you have to really sit down and make the decision. You have to make the decision like, is this a need or a want? Just because they have in the sale and I'm wanting to buy because it's cheaper, but is it a need or a want? Okay. The third pointer in terms of how you plan your money, look at the ways that you can save the value of your money. Look at places where you can chop down on your spending. Can you see that? Bargain hunt. Look for the better price. I'm not saying that you have to buy cheap things, but I would consider you shopping around. Shop around first, see if the same item you saw in this shop might have a different price in another shop. Okay, that's called bargain hunt. Bulk buying. Can anybody knows this term, bulk buying? Has anyone tried it? No. Bulk buying, I would recommend, you bulk buy only the things that you use regularly. If it's on a good price somewhere and you have enough money that you can buy so that you can get it for a cheaper cost, and it can help you over time. Sorry, Trustmarie, you have a question?
No. It's not really a question. It's just a comment. Bulk buying is it. For one time I ever bulk bought, did my shopping in that manner was during the COVID-19 lockdown. People went for toilet paper, and I myself bulk buy toilet paper. To a point, I think I could have turned my house into a supermarket, just supplying toilet paper to everybody. That's how I. Hi, she's talking about bulk buying, and I'm trying to connect it with.
Yes,
and a lot of us were bulk buying during the COVID-19.
Yes.
It was a global phenomena.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I can connect bulk buying.
Yes, that's true. That's true. So in this case, what I usually recommend in bulk buying, the things you use regularly, like toilet paper. Yeah. That's true. That's something that everybody has to have every day. And if you feel that you can see a good price, it's on sale somewhere, this is something that's always in your shopping list every week. Every week you go shopping, the regular things that you buy for home, when you see a good price for it and you think, oh, if I buy enough now, it can last me for the whole month instead of just 1 week. You can save money to that way. But if you're prepared, then you'll be able to afford these things. So one question that one example I use is my little girl, she's only 2, the diaper she uses every day. So when it's on special, I'll walk into the supermarket and ask if I can buy them in boxes so that I can store it up, and then I don't have to buy it in the next 3-4 months. It saves me that cost within that period, because I bought it for cheaper and I bought it in bulk. because I know it's something that she uses regularly. Toilet paper, like Tress Marie mentioned, when the phenomena happened, everybody was buying toilet paper. At Westpac, we always order our toilet paper in bulk anyway. This has been happening for the past 15 years I've been working here. It was happening even before that. We'll order directly from the supplier and they will deliver here. So can you imagine, for some of us who were usually, it was normal for us, how suddenly everybody noticed that we were buying toilet paper that bulk? And they never noticed before, but they noticed it during that that first COVID wave in Fiji. So those are some things that you can consider. Another example that I use is, during the Diwali sale, the price of milk always be cheaper because of the Diwali festival. A lot of our Hindu friends, they always make all these lovely sweets, and for sure the supermarkets know they want to buy a lot, so they drop the price. When they buy, you think only our Indian friends are buying it? No, we are also shopping too for our bulk shopping for the milk that will last us till January. I normally do that, but it's because I know that it's the one regular item that I buy weekly in my shopping. So that's what bulk buying is about. You can order directly from the supplier. You can buy from the supermarket when it's cheap, and you have to monitor it. You don't just buy it and then leave it there and everybody starts getting excited that there's a lot and they start thinking they can use it. You ration it how you usually do it weekly when you do your shopping. That's another tip I need to give you. Okay, so what I do when I buy the supply of milk and the supply of diaper and the supply of toilet paper, I put it away in a storage, and I bring out only the amount that is required weekly, and I put it there so that everybody can continue with the trend, the discipline. Doesn't mean that I buy a lot of milk that they're going to start making the ice block. No. We keep within our weekly ration. That's what I mean. Shopping during sales, it's also linked with the bulk buying and the bargain hunting. Ask for discount when you're a new customers in a shop. And it doesn't have to be the grocery shopping. It can be somewhere you went and you really want to buy something new for yourself. You're new in that shop. You want to build a relationship with the shop owner. You can ask for discount. Can I have a discount? It doesn't hurt to ask. Only if you ask, then you'll find out the answer. And most of the times, they always give the discount. Most of the time, because they know you're new and they want you to return. Okay, negotiate for discounted prices. Avoid irrelevant purchase. Avoiding irrelevant purchase is simply going back to the other method. Is it a need or a want? Okay, and I want you to understand that everything that we buy has a depreciation value. So if you buy a new phone today, maybe the S20 is almost $2,000 right now. Maybe next year S21 will come out. That S20 from 2,000 will drop to 1,000. See the difference? But what do? They do the same thing as the A01, A02, A03. So you have to ask yourself, the purchase that I have, what is the value of this come this time? It has a depreciation value. Should I buy it now, or I wait until the sale in Christmas, then I buy? Okay, so always remember that. And whenever you are spending your money, try to stretch it to the maximum what you can get out of it. That is when you're understanding the value of your money. Okay. Yes, I have Rudolph and Tress Marie. We'll hear from Rudolph, and then we'll move to Tress Marie.
Sorry, I was just to add on to what you've just mentioned about the mobile phones. For example, the mobile phones that you used, when you could actually wait for the next, delay your purchasing, just wait for cheaper time when the price. But then it all boils down to our lifestyle. If our lifestyle, those kind of people that like to go with a trend, then that is, it will also affect our budgeting. If we like to live with a trend and flow with the trend, that will also affect our spending. So yeah, it's just a small thing I just wanted to add on. Thank you.
Thank you, Rudolph. That is true. We'll hear from Tress Marie.
Sorry, Mary Angela, I don't have a question. I don't know how come my hand went up.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Yes. So like I mentioned earlier, if you want to keep that lifestyle, you can't have your saving because you need to afford your lifestyle. So you have to make the choice, the hard decision. Keep my lifestyle or change my lifestyle and build my savings. Yeah, the decision is yours at the end of the day. And the tips that I'm sharing is just to help us start identifying some discipline around our finance. And these are some methods that we can take. Okay, so the last, sorry, before we go to the leak factor. So further to, to understanding the value of your money, I want to share this. Plan your family meals for the week, which means you can, make a chart, put it on the wall in the kitchen, your meals from Monday to Sunday. You can write down what's for breakfast, what's for dinner, what's for lunch. Those are some things that you do. Like how we plan our children's lunch when they go to school. We know they're going to have sandwich, they're going to have this, have that. Same thing for the family. You'll be able to understand how to write your shopping list when you have your meals ready. Yeah? And you don't have to have the same thing every day for your breakfast. You maybe consider having porridge for 2 days in the week. And then another day, you probably want to make something, like maybe a warm breakfast, a cold breakfast, depending on how you plan it. Yeah? Then you have when you have your meal for the week, the list ready, you'll be able to understand what you need to buy for the week from that list. Then you can really see on the menu for the week what needs to be bought for part of the grocery list. Okay, you write your shopping list before you go out. Write your shopping list. Shopping list is not just only for grocery. Can be every time you go to town. Write down what you're actually going to do so that you don't divert and then get tempted to spend here and there. Okay. Just another tip I'd like to share. Just another tip I'd like to share is, sorry, let me just admit someone. Just another tip I'd like to share is eat before leaving home for shopping. If you're going to take someone to help you with the shopping, you try and have your breakfast if you're going early or lunch before you go, so that you don't have to spend extra money out there. But if you want to go and have a meal out when you while you're doing your shopping, put it in your shopping list, how much you're going to spend out there. And when you go out, follow and stick to your shopping list. Follow your shopping list. How many of you can do that? Yes, that's right, Tom. Mama's old tricks. Why are we not following it if our parents can follow it? Who did we learn this from? The shopping list? From our parents, from our grandparents. Yeah. The shopping list is actually going to help you stick within what your budget or your limit is. When we go to the shop, we see something is on special. You know it was not part of your plan. If you can afford it and it's something regular, like I said earlier, the bulk shopping, then you go for it. But if you can't, and you know that it was not part of your budget and it's not something you buy regularly, don't even bother wasting your money there. Try to learn the disciplines. And what I mentioned earlier, it's not an overnight thing. It takes practice. And practice, as you continue, it will become perfect. So you have to do it. After today's session, the ball is in your court. We can have this session 1 time or 10 times. The point is for you to actually go back and try it. Yes. Check for the weekly specials in the paper or on your gadget. Everybody's on social media. All these shops, your favorite shops, the supermarkets, everybody is on social media. Use that platform to see where the specials are and where you can purchase from a good price. And there is no harm in utilizing that platform to gain what you need to know. So I would recommend social media has its good uses for things like this, where you can learn where to buy from at a better price. Farming, having your own little vegetable garden at home. COVID did us a favor, gave us time for us to invest in our farming. for some of us who were able to work from home, you know, for some of us who have been working for so long, and then unfortunately COVID happened, we had to go home, especially our friends in the tourism industry, in the aviation. But well, they use their time to invest in their farm. I have siblings who also work in the tourism industry, and they have farmland that, you know, it was part of their dream that they're going to farm during the lockdown last year and the one again this year. When they didn't have hours to work, they were investing it to come and put the work in their farm, and they were very happy with that. And I'm the happiest because I'm going to have my free supply from their farm after that. So so that, you know, those are some things that we are grateful for, that we have backyard gardening that sustains our daily food ration. You know, the cassava plantation is there, the mbele, the things that we can plant around our home that you know, can lessen the cost in terms of grocery shopping. So grow your own vegetables. Another tip I want to share with us is, you know, if you have children and usually take them out shopping, and I mean, it's not that I want to disappoint anyone, but if you want, you know, try and avoid taking kids out to do your shopping, because you know, we are parents, and we can't say no to our children sometimes. So what we can do is, if we take them, then we have to train them at home, like, I'm going to take your fruit and your snack, so you can't ask mom and dad to buy something in town if you want to go with us. Otherwise, you can't go with us to town. Or otherwise, if they, you know, if you think about it, if they are at home, someone can look after them. They're safer at home, much safer. So I usually recommend that one day, the children to the grandparents. Some grandparents, they really spoil the grandchildren. They complain afterwards they don't have any money, but do you think they stop? No, they'll continue the trend again over and over. So when I go to the villages and then I bring this training up to them, they always laugh. They will laugh their heart out when I talk about, you know, don't take the children to town. And they just say, Senga, 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 we can leave the husband at home, the grandmother. I can leave the husband at home, but I have to take my grandchildren. So those are some things, some tips that I wanted to share with us. Children and shopping. Yes, Rudolph. You can see that he's laughing away. Okay, so I want to move on to the last one, the money management strategy, where we talk about the leak factor. The leak factor, it's actually focused on the ones, you know, the small scale spending that's regular for you. Some people, they'll say that they smoke daily. Some they drink beer. What are some of your leak factor? Anybody want to share? What are some of your regular spending on the ones? I have some listed there, but what are yours? Philly thinking like, I think there's plenty.
There's a lot of leak factors. I think one is going out with when I go to make my deliveries. I tend to go and stop at my friend is working at one of the coffee hub here in Nandi, so I just stop over to say hello and then end up by buying a coffee, which is $8, and it's like on a daily basis. You know, those that contributes to one of the leak factors for me. Yeah.
Thank you, Philly. Wow, $8 for coffee. How much is a bottle of coffee, Philly?
Well, the cheapest one that Shop and Save has is the yellow lid one. The Nescafe is about $8.
Wow. And how many cups of coffee do you think you can have from that $8 bottle of coffee?
Yeah, it's quite a big bottle. So yeah, it can last me a month.
Okay. Yeah, wow, that's actually amazing. I have Daisy said grog and Sue said recharge. Thank you for the honesty. Yes, some of us it's a regular thing, smoking, our recharge. What about our recharge? Oh my gosh, with all these deals that are coming out, who can resist it? My gosh, you can get so much data out of a $7 recharge, and why not? But then when you think about it, Your weekly data, $8 for how many GB right now for Vodafone? 20 GB. Wow, see, the answer was fast.
20 GB.
There you go. You know the number of GB. Eh? Temo says buying cigarettes every day. Yes. So Temo, do you buy cigarette in packets or do you buy them in roll?
Packet,
And how much is a packet?
$8.50 a packet.
Okay, see, I'm going to do one activity. Can you all see?
Yes.
Okay. So $8 a packet, eh? Did you say $8 or $8.50?
$8.50.
$8.50. Okay, Temo. $8.50, that's one day.
2 to 3 packets in a day.
How many packets in a day?
2 to 3 packets in a day.
Okay, we'll take the average, 2 packets, eh? So you got your, okay, let me set our calculator. Okay, I'm going to do this activity so that you can actually, we'll come back to you, Philly. Don't you worry, I haven't forgotten you and your coffee. Okay. So let's say Temo spends $17. Can you see that?
Yeah.
One day. Okay. So there's 7 days in a week, am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, so Temo, in 1 week, your budget, so that you can enjoy your cigarette, you have to spend $119. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Wow. So Temo, in 1 year, this is how much you are enjoying your money on your cigarette. Don't collapse yet. Can you see? Should I continue, Temo?
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe we go 5 years, eh? So Temo, in 5 years, this is the figure. You ready? So you started from, because $8.50 per packet, eh? See that? So we did an average of 2 packets. This one here is two packets, eh? And in one week, it's you will have to budget $119 to afford your cigarette. That's just cigarette. I don't even want to ask you, Temo, for the grog. And Lisa, yes. And then in 1 year, it's 6,188. And then after 5 years, 30,940. Can you please tell me what can you buy with say 1 year, 6,188? $6,000. What do you think you can spend that money on, Temo?
Bring some other things for my business.
Yes, you can invest it in your business, yeah? Okay, so that's Temo's calculation. Okay, now we'll do Philly, yeah? So you're going to visit your friend every day, Philly. So when you say every day, is it Monday to Sunday or just Monday to Friday?
Philly, unmute.
About 3 to 4 days a week on
So
days
let's
of my
just-
delivery, yeah? Yeah.
Okay, so let's just calculate 4 days, eh? Okay, so $8, 1 half. So 8 times 4, $32 1 week. Okay? So Philly, every week when you work for your money, you have to budget $32 because you have to visit your friend every 4 days a week to have that coffee. That's part of your budget right now. See? Okay. So we're going to do it by 1 week. So 1 year, if you continue this trend, you have 164. Just to enjoy your coffee with your friend. That cost you 3,000 to 8,320. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want you to go and cut frame. Okay, so why I did the calculation, because I want you to understand the regular spending. You know, the continuous regular spending is small, like you don't feel it at the time. But if you continue with it, that's how much it build up to. And then we are asking ourselves, Lisa, why is it that you save?
Yeah.
Check your lifestyle. Check your lifestyle. Yeah, remember the spending diary? Every little thing that you make, you write it down. That's where you can see it as well. Okay. Here we go.
Thank you.
See that table? For someone who spends $2 a week, or sorry, $2 a day, after 1 week, it's $14. After 1 year, it becomes 700 plus. And then after 5 years, it's 3,000 plus. And that's just on the slow leak. And then if there's someone that spends $20 a day, after 1 week, it's 140. After 1 year, it is 7,200 and 36,000 plus after 5 years. So if we look at our lifestyle, if we check our regular spending, and we know that this is a want, that this is part of the lifestyle, and if we can be disciplined enough to chop back on a little bit of this, you know, I'm not saying that that Temo can't have his cigarette, but Temo can start considering, instead of 2 to 3 packets a week, maybe I should try 1. And the money that I will save from that other 2 to 3 packets, I can build my savings. Those are options for you. You have to start looking at that kind of way of thinking so that you can start applying the discipline. Okay. So savings, why is it important for you to save? The underlying question here is, why is it so important for me to save? Remember, it's for your goal. Okay. Only when it is a real emergency. So your savings, what we encourage you to do, put aside 5 to 10% every pay. You can split it into different category, unplanned, planned, or you can say, I need to achieve all of this in 1 year, but try and put a certain amount aside for your goal. Always separate your saving from your spending money. Don't keep them both in the same account. Why? Because you might lose track of the amount of your saving and you'll start spending, okay? So keep it aside somewhere where you don't have to touch it. Learn to always pay yourself first before you pay for anything else. Learn to pay you first. Remember the budget planner that we built. First payment is saving, okay? And your saving will help you, especially during the emergency. So it says that do not touch your saving unless absolutely necessary. Medical emergency, you will feel the difference when you have the means to afford it. And what our saving does for us, it gives us a sense of independence. When you have built something, you know, even a small amount gives us a sense of independence. We know we don't have to rely on anyone else to ask for that cost. Okay. Now, we always think it won't happen to me. We hear other stories. It won't happen to me. We heard, and we've been hearing from our friends this morning, those that were in the tourism industry, and they're a living testimony of the fact that we are not immune to bad luck. Nobody on this earth is immune to bad luck. It can happen anytime. And when it does happen, if you were prepared, your savings will, you know, it'll give you some sense of comfort. You will, of course, you will worry about the future of your family, but having something at that very moment can, you know, just ease it a little bit for us. It helps us to cope and start again. Yes? I want to talk about borrowing. Okay, if you notice, when we started this session, we started from the important things. Your planning, setting a goal, learning how to create a budget, your understanding your lifestyle, ways on how you can combat emotion and money. See, look at all the things that we touched first, and then we came to borrowing. Okay, so it is important that you understand how to use loans, meaning be responsible, be a responsible borrower. If you're going to borrow money, you borrow it for the right reason. Don't always run to get a debt because you have this family obligation, that family obligation. That's part of our culture. We must be prepared for it all the time. It should not be catching us off guard. That's the truth. Okay, so if you borrow for all the small things, eventually it becomes a habit. And it's a habit that you will feel that you can't break. And what will happen when you retire? You don't have any savings because you have all this debt you still have to pay for. Okay. So these are some types of borrowing that we are used to. High purchase, store account, credit cards, bank loan, the small money lenders. We go to them, but I want you to understand that the longer the repayment, the term. If they tell you 1 year, you're paying more interest. Okay, the longer the term, the higher the interest. So the shorter the term, the more closer to the amount that you borrow, you're paying. Remember that. Okay. Whether it's high purchase or bank loan or your small money lender, whatever it is, please just be a responsible borrower. Okay. If you can go without borrowing, do it. So if you borrow for the wrong reason, remember you will always face hardships in life. You continue to feel, like tied down. If you're borrowing because you're buying your house, it's for a need, and you can afford to pay for it, and you will work hard to make the repayment because it's for the right reason. But if you're borrowing because you need to buy my cousin their wedding, I have to buy their stove. That kind of thing, you need to plan for it. You don't really have to go and splash on a big stove. Maybe you buy the burner right now because it's more affordable. You're still meeting your obligation, but you're meeting it within your budget. Those are things we need to be realistic with. Okay, so in the banks, we have ways you can pay for things. Your ATM, you can pay using a credit card. Remember, credit card is a debt. You can pay with cash, and you can pay using direct debit. When you come to the bank and you ask the bank to make the payments for you on your behalf from your bank account, you will directly pay from your bank account and we do the work for you. It's called direct debit. Okay, a lot of people using it now for high purchase. They are deducting from source from their bank account. These are different ways you can pay for things through the bank. We have mobile banking. Yeah, if you have a bank account, you would have noticed there's a lot of ad coming out now in the social media, in the media, mainstream media, where they are promoting mobile banking. Why are we investing in this? Because everybody has a phone. A lot of people have phones now, and we are bringing the services closer to you because we're trying to get rid of the queue inside the branch, the long queue. So we have all this medium that can provide you that service. And I would recommend, please go to your bank and sign up because it's truly cheaper. When I talk about cheaper, you're just using your data to access information. You pay your bills. You don't have to wait in a queue. You don't have to pay bus fare to go to the billa to go and pay there. Those are some things you are avoiding, right? Cost. Okay. We have internet banking. It's 24 hours. Like I said, this services here because it's available for you. The palm of your hand, it's 24 hours. Any questions about the services that we provide here before I move on? No, okay. So we think that we are young and we have plenty of time. Excuse me. I'm young, I have plenty of time. Yeah? So if you look at the table that I've shared, we have that whole number of years. We invest a lot of our time just working. Yeah? So what we recommend here is, you know, start to save early, otherwise you throw away a good proportion of your work life not saving. Yeah? So do it now. The students that are listening in, Temo, this is a good tip. Start now, start young. If you can start saving now, go for it. So that will come in retirement, you have enough saved up. Yeah? So just to summarize it for all of us, do not spend more than you earn. Live within your means. Learn to live within your means. Live simple. There's no harm in keeping a simple lifestyle if you can grow your saving, if you can achieve your goal. Yeah? Use the budgeting method. Always learn to budget. And when you set a budget, set a realistic budget that works for you, that you can achieve. Yeah? The purpose of us creating that budget, for us to build the budget today, for you to understand the steps on how you can manage your money. Yes? We've covered emotions and money. That is how you make decisions on your money. We have covered savings and tips on how you can build your savings. You know, we did the calculation of your small scale spending, so you can see what you need to chop down on it, so that you can feel confident to save. Can you see that? So remember, a small sacrifice right now can help fulfill you to achieve your goal, to achieve that plan you've set for yourself. Yes? So what we usually recommend is, you know, have a financial goal. Like I said already, we're in the first topic on planning. When you have a goal, always have a financial goal. Your goals should always help you to achieve the next goal. Okay? So every conversation that we're having today, I'm pointing everything right back again to the purpose of having a goal. When you have a goal, you have a plan. You have a means or something to look forward to. You ask yourself every day, why am I working hard? Am I just working so I can just get my money and spend, or do I actually want to achieve something for myself? Yeah. When you have asked that question, you're able to answer it, then you'll be able to do something about it. And your work every day makes sense. Why you would wake up every day and go and earn money, it will really make sense to you what you're trying to achieve. Otherwise, you might as well not work. We just stay home and relax because we don't want to have goals. But no, life is so expensive. Everything we want is costing us money. And that's why we need to apply some of these tips, some of the disciplines, so that it can help guide us to manage our money, to achieve our dreams, and overall to at least afford the cost of living today. And not just today, but in the future too. Should the cost of living rise, you know how to be able to afford it. Only if you practice this. Like I said, it's years of practice, but you have to start. Once you start, then you can really start seeing the changes. But if we sit on it and we don't do anything about it, it won't work for us. Okay, so any questions from the group before we hand over to Mervyn? I hope that was very simple for your understanding.
Absolutely, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mary Angela. Today, during my lunch break, I will go and purchase a little notebook so I can note down all my expenses. I think that's something major I will take out of today's presentation. So thank you again for that.
Winaka Sherry, don't forget to collect your receipts. Sometimes we purchase from the supermarket, we take our receipts. I was the main culprit. I'll just take it and discard it like it's nothing, but those are the little discipline we can start now. When we collect our receipt and we look through our shopping, one thing for sure is you can pick out if you have been overcharged. Don't forget, the people behind that machine are human beings. It's not their fault. We are bound to make errors, as human beings. The best thing you can do is to do your part. Check your receipt. Any discrepancy, you can always go back and let them know. That's what I do. I go back and tell them, Lisa, I bought this item, but the price was this and I was overcharged. And then they are grateful. They, oh wow, man, Lisa, sorry about it. And they refund my money. But you have to do the necessary. Otherwise, like I said, you are not spending to the best of your money. You could charge.
Hi, Mary Angela. Sorry, I just wanted to thank you for honing in on the small steps that you raised today. Starting with the small things. And as Temo had shared on his experience, I was thinking back on I had invested in this insurance policy.
Life policies.
Yeah, and it's like a 20-year term, and at the end of the 20-year, I would I would get like what 30,000 out of it. And when you did that calculation, like for Temo, in 5 years, he would have saved 30,000. For me, it was like it just sort of turned on the light bulb, and I was like, wow, 20 years, 30,000 as compared to just saving that much. In 5 years, and getting that 30,000, the same return, in just a shorter time, it's sort of like just awakening again for me. Start small.
Yes.
Thank you for honing in on that point.
Naka, I like to read a lot of good stories. Like a couple that that they testify that they saved 60,000 in 2 years, and because it all came right back to our lifestyle. If you can have that willpower to overcome some temptation, the changes it can bring to you it's amazing. So I discovered, because I do this training too for the people in the market. Thank you, Sue. And I discovered that my friends in the market, sometimes people always have the wrong idea that they're selling in the market. Man, I tell you, I found out that there's a particular lady, maybe some of you would know. She would travel to Hong Kong and watch Hong Kong 7 every year. She's just a market vendor. And I said, that lady is doing something right that all of us are not doing. She is, but I always meet her a lot when I go to the market in the early hours, when she's doing her bulk buying for her stall. Just the discipline that she has.
This hospital that in my car is stuck on the steering wheel.
Okay, so that's how I found out that just the way that she's very confident to go here and bargain for her price and buy and use her money to invest in her little vegetable stall. And I was watching her and I said, man, that's what she's doing right. She's very strong to say no. I said, no, maybe she's the kind too with all our ongai. When people know that she's a business and they try and impose on her, she's probably the one saying, no. Like, she's able to not give in. So those are the things that we have to start being mindful about. Our emotions, especially influencing our decision on money. And I need you to understand that you can say no. You can have the power to say no. Today's session, I told you already, it will only happen if you take it back and you apply it, and it will work. We can meet today, we can meet again another day, we can meet 1 year from now, we can have the same session. It only works when you actually take it and you practice it, and it will happen for you. Okay, Naka, so that was Tom. Thank you, Tom. What you mentioned here, Temo, the amount of money. See, even that is in packets. When I did the roll, because some of my friends from Rewa, they were very, You know, they were very funny.
What does it have to be, Rewa?
I'm not kidding. I'm not trying to. I did a training for the youth from Rewa, and you know, we had a good time. And then when they were calculating, when they said that they buy packet, one of them wanted to have a little bit more fun and say, "I buy raw, like cheaper than you." So I said, "Okay, let's do the calculation." Unfortunately, that $17 two packet for Tiamo, for that friend of mine from Rewa, the amount of money he was spending buying roll went up to $20 plus. Eh? $1 one roll. After that, they all started to tease him because he was wanting to have a little bit more fun and say that he was paying less. But when we did the calculation, and then we found out that he was spending more, I said, "Oh, Fred, you better just buy the packet like your other gang here. Is buying roll, eh?" Yes, but those are some things that we need to start, you know, identifying where we can start making some changes, chop down, and it has to do with our spending. I already mentioned the spending diary. Use it, try it. we've done it, and the training that I just shared today is designed by experts who know and have knowledge that it has worked for them. And I want you to understand that it will work for you if you try it. Eh? Okay, so thank you for that. If there is no other questions, I'd like to take this time to thank all of you, the participants, Ignite for Change Fiji, you know, for your care, to have this training for your participants. We are happy that you've chosen us to facilitate this training, and we look forward to, you know, building this relationship with Ignite and with the participants, that it will help our community as a whole. When I hand over to Mervin now.
Thank you so much, Mary Angela, for the presentation this afternoon. I'm sure everyone here has got a fair understanding of the Financial First training. Again, thank you so much for the continuous partnership between Ignite for Change and Respect Fiji in ensuring that this training is carried out, especially to those interested individuals that may be starting a business or are planning to start a business. With that being said, just a couple of reminders before we disperse in a moment.